So guys, the rise and fall of two identical twins bound by blood seemingly seem to be separated kind courtesy material stuff. Earlier, you could see and of course saw a lot of reportage about the P-Square brothers, specifically Road Boy, who actually exposed his other half, Mr. P, saying that his own half, Mr. P, got him arrested at the EFCC. Also, he said that most of the songs that all of you know them to have produced was masterminded by him. But today we woke up seeing some interesting, opinion, of course, from the other half, who's Mr. P, seemingly dismissing claims of what Rude Boy, affectionately called, of course, we all know him to be Mr. Paul Okoye, I beg your pardon, guys. So he's also come to give his side of the story. Now, this is actually confusing because it's not the first time that the two brothers have actually been in the system with so many conversations about their breakup. It's actually the fifth time that they are breaking up. A lot of you, I'm sure, are tired. Before, personalities like Mercy Johnson actually pleaded that they come back. They did. Peter Obi are also students just to make sure that these powerful twins don't break up. But nothing could actually, of course, make them come back again. Now, let's move straight to what Mr. P came to write on his social handle this early morning. Now, he first addressed the fact that his brother, who purportedly wrote something and, of course, said something that he wrote almost all the songs that we all know about. He actually first denied that thing and he questioned his brother's reasons or motives for doing that. Then again, he's brought out a latest one, which also he addressed about the EFCC saga. I'm sure, guys, it's a lengthy, post over there. We're actually going to show them on your screens. But first off, let's know what you think about it, okay? Because, see, as I've said, this is not the first time they're breaking up. It's actually one too many. And most of you, even after this drama, are saying that you're retired. They can just do whatever they want to do with themselves. Not even their biological mother, who unfortunately is deceased, could even patch things up between the two. Unfortunately, things seemed to have escalated. So let me just read the first tweet that was made by Mr. P. He openly wrote an open letter to his dear brother, who is Paul Okoye, and this is interesting. So he says, open letter to my dear brother Paul Okoye, aka Root Boy. My dear brother Paul, just like I have told you several times, I am not in any competition with you or anybody else. However, seeing you grant countless interviews where you constantly discredit my effort in the group that we both created and built together really speaks volumes. In a recent interview, you claimed that you wrote and sung 99% of all P-Square songs and discredited me by saying that our song with T.I. Ejejo, which I wrote, was a failure. You went as far as using the YouTube views to discredit to discredit me once again. You never acknowledged the other songs like Get Squared, Busybody, Personally, Roll It, Temptation, Alingo, More Than a Friend, Shekini, Say Your Love, Give Me That, Senorita, Ibedu, and a few others. Were these songs also considered failures as well? Well, he moved on, saying that every time I have spoken in interviews about P Square, I have always used we and us because I saw us as a team. But however, and of course, whenever you speak, it's always I and me. Even when I'm standing right beside you, it's as if I never existed. My brother, neither of us is the most talented artist in the world. But you fail to understand that God gave us this talent and even granted us another chance to excel after our last breakup. Instead, you chose to turn the most awarded and decorated music group in Africa into a laughingstock again. Once again, you need to understand. Clearly is okay. Let me take my time, guys, because yes, he says that one thing you need to understand clearly is that the fans didn't fall in love with P Square because of who sang or danced the most. What made us special was the magic that came from our combined effort. As true, P Square was forced, and fans fell in love with P Square because of our uniqueness and our unity. We both have talent, no doubt, and I have often praised you in our interviews for your songwriting ability. I have also praised anyone who has ever written a song for us or even for me as Mr. P. But instead of showing gratitude for my kind words, you seem to find satisfaction in rubbing it in my face, forgetting that it is by God's grace that we have come thus far. Now, he moves on to say again that rather than joining forces with me to reclaim our number one spot in the music industry, he chose to team up with Jude. Now, Jude here happens to be their older brother, so bear in mind. You chose to team up with Jude to claim the number one spot in the P Square group, always looking for opportunity to marginalize and humiliate me. You are always claiming to be P Square songwriter, composer, producer, singer, backup vocalist. In fact, you are everything, including P Square's video director. Interesting. What a, you know. Now he moves on to say that I blame myself for not responding to your tweet claims in April 2015 that you wrote and sang all the P Square songs. I didn't respond to these false claims for the sake of peace, as advised by family and friends, and now I am paying clearly for it. So, my brother, let me ask you, is Road Boy or Mr. P bigger and more successful than P Square today? Are we individually selling out arenas and stadiums like P Square used to? Are we topping world music charts with our songs as solo artists? Do we command crowds and entertain massive audiences like P Square? I often find myself wondering, what do you truly gain by constantly disrespecting and belittling me all the time? You have disrespected me, my wife, disrespected my family, disrespected my talent, disrespected my ideas, and even sided with Jude. Now, Jude comes here again. I'll actually brief you a bit about why Jude's name is appearing, but let's move on. When he was clearly trying to oppress me. Now it feels like you have taken it even further by trying so hard to turn the fans against me by making them believe I'm jealous of you. You have been doing everything for the fans to hate me, but guess what? They will never hate me. Instead, they will hate us both because we have disappointed and failed them. Well, that's true anyway, because y'all are just making unnecessary noise on social media. Now, let me just end with this one. He says that I hope you are happy now. I genuinely wish nothing but the best, bro. As for those who believe these lies and false narratives, and come to my page to drop negative comments, I understand. Because you have been fed with wrong narratives for a long time, please allow me focus and do music in peace. As for the EFCC matter, I will address it before the end of the day. And finally, he has addressed that. So this was the allegation, of course, a response to what Road Boy earlier said, saying that he wrote or composed 99% of all the music. Now, Shekinini, I don't know, but actually was the biggest hit. Alingo, these brothers have major monster hits. Like when we say a monster hit that has actually, paved way across every nook and cranny of the world, these two indeed made headlines. Now, let me just not keep you in suspense. Quickly, let's move on to the other one he responded to with the EFCC thing. But before I go on, he actually was also rumored to be just the dancer of the group. I mean, P Square, Mr. P, apparently, it was quite sad. He said that his brother has taken credits for being the composer, the writing, all that, belittling him as just a common dancer to the group. Now about the EFCC matter, guys, this is what he had to say about it. Oh, I never attempted to try to use the EFCC to arrest my twin brother, Paul. Now, let's get into it. It says, before I tell you the whole story, here is what I need you all to understand. It's always surprising to me when people say P Square is always bringing your family matters into the public eye. Let me clarify this. P Square is not just a family, it's a public brand. But Peter, Paul, Jude, Anita Ifioma. Now, this Anita we're talking about is, guys, this Anita we're talking about is Paul Okoye's ex. Okay, so bear in mind, Lola, that is Mr. P's wife, and the rest of our family members are family, but P Square is an entity that belongs to the public as much as it does belong to us. Our fans have played a significant role in our success, so they have the right to know what's happening with their beloved brand P Square. That's why it's understandable when certain aspects of our lives are spread publicly. Now let's get straight into the point. I want to make it clear that I never reported my brother, Paul, to the EFCC. I know many of you were disappointed when Paul accused me of doing so. He mentioned that I wrote a petition against him, which he claimed made uh, the EFCC to ask him to provide a surety. This statement suggested that he was detained, which is not true. Peter, Paul and Jude own a management company together called Northside Entertainment, which we use to manage all of P-Square's affairs. One day, I discovered another company with a similar name, but this one was called Northside Music instead of Northside Entertainment. This surprised me, so I decided to investigate further. And guess what? To my shock, the founders and directors of the secret company were none other than Jude Okoye and his wife Ifeoma Okoye, and the registered address was the family home of Jude's wife. Still in shock, I knew I had to talk to Paul about it. I approached him multiple times, at least 4 different times, asking if he knew anything about the secret company and thereabouts of some of P Square's royalties. Each time I met with him, he denied knowing anything about it. I want to set the record straight. I hereby challenge Paul or anyone else to show any petition that I, Peter Okoye, ever submitted against my twin brother, Paul, or that has Paul's name on it. I'm still writing this with so much shock because I gave clear instructions to my legal team with a standing order that under no circumstances should Paul be included in my petition. Their focus was to remain solely on the primary suspect, Jude Okoye, and his wife, Ifeoma Okoye, since they were the directors of the secret company, Northside Music. Paul's recent interview about the EFCC incident contains a lot of lies. I watched and listened to Paul's interview and I was totally speechless. And I kept asking myself, how does Paul have the audacity to publicly tell lies like this? Even with the respected and reputable agency like the EFCC. He claimed I petitioned him, but that's not something that ever happened to Paul. The truth is, this was something that actually happened to Jude. The real story goes back to the shocking discovery I made. But what really got me very upset was finding out that for years, millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of naira were being secretly diverted into the secret company account Northside Music from our own company. Northside Entertainment. This was not just a minor issue. It was a massive betrayal that had been going on off for several years. I understand that Paul is angry because